And for more on this, we're joined by William Julié. He's an international criminal and human rights lawyer. Thanks for being with us. Good to see you again. So this trial is happening in Ukraine. This is not the International Criminal Court. Do you think that justice can be served?
I absolutely do think that justice can be served. I think that it's a very good thing that the Ukrainian judicial system is able to try individuals whilst the conflict is ongoing. This is unprecedented. There have been national prosecutions dealt with in Congo, in Kosovo, in Rwanda, regarding war crimes committed, but never whilst the conflict was still ongoing. And I do think that symbolically, but not only, it is a very good thing. It shows that the Ukrainian institutions are holding. It shows that they are able to serve justice as they did before the conflict and as they will hopefully when the conflict is finished. So I think that it's a very good thing, and I do think that justice can be served.
You just mentioned this. What about the timing? What about the timing here? I mean, what message is Kyiv trying to send by prosecuting these alleged crimes while the war is still going on?
I think there's a double message. The first one is to say, look, the country is still standing, the institutions are still there, we are still holding up, and we can deal with justice during conflict. And I think the second one is to send a message also to the Russians that they have been able to bring these cases to court before the Russians have been able to do so. I understand that Russian prosecutors are also trying to build cases to show that some war crimes have been committed against their own soldiers, but I think that they have not been successful, and that on this one also the Ukrainians have won the communication battle.
Well, you know, Ukraine says that it's documented thousands of war crimes. I think it's 12,000. Given that huge number, how likely are the perpetrators to face punishment?
Listen, I think that the individuals who have been caught in Ukraine are going to face trial. We've got the first example. They are going to be, might be more, well, we don't know how many. The main problem is, number one, for the individuals who are not in Ukraine anymore, have maybe went back to Russia, then of course it will be an issue about trials, for example, in absentia, and about getting these people arrested. And if they are in Russia, of course, it's going to be more complicated. This is also maybe where international criminal courts are going to intervene, or where other national, international criminal courts on the grounds of universal jurisdiction will maybe also decide to go after some individuals, and maybe high-ranked individuals in the military, or political individuals who are involved in giving some orders. And we will see if these other courts are successful in issuing warrants of arrest and in having these warrants of arrest executed.
What about the legal definition of a war crime? What exactly do prosecutors have to prove?
They have to prove, all depends, it's not exactly the same depending on which country we're talking about, and if we are talking about the International Criminal Court or local legal definitions. But roughly, you have to prove that a crime has been committed, a very serious offence, murder, torture, rape, for example, and that these crimes are in connection with a war, with an ongoing conflict. And obviously this is the case in what we're talking about for this first trial.
Well, so the Council of Europe has called for an ad hoc international criminal tribunal to investigate war crimes in Ukraine. Where does that stand?
So that's something else which is another very interesting topic. The first thing would be that if an international special tribunal is created, it could open the door for not only war crimes or crimes against humanity be dealt with, but maybe also with the crime of aggression. We know that this crime cannot be investigated by the International Criminal Court for technical and legal reasons, but would there be a special tribunal created for the purpose of the Ukrainian conflict? It could enable maybe prosecutions to be dealt with regarding the crime of aggression by Russia against Ukraine. And then this special court would also be able to deal with these other crimes we are talking about already, war crimes, crimes against humanity, with the possibility of going after political leaders, after possibly Vladimir Putin, because we know that before these special courts, international criminal courts, there is no immunity. And we also know that when these individuals are brought before local justices or justices of countries, it is often not possible to go after these individuals because of the immunity they hold against prosecution.
And we're just getting word that this trial we've been talking about is now just getting underway, so we'll have to see what happens. We want to thank you, Vadim Julié, international criminal and human rights lawyer. Good to see you again. Take care, and thanks for your insight.